Is chivalry dead? Whew. Gotta think about that one. Yo, what's good? What's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Welcome to another episode of Funky Friday. And I'm your host, Sir Boogie. And man, I got a topic for your assets today. But I ain't been able to smoke during the Funky Friday in a minute. So in honor of that, I will. Yes, so here we are. Funky Friday, where we keep it funky. We bring up a topic just to spark intellect, just to spark dialogue, just to spark discussion. And today's topic is simple, but yet impactful. And it is chivalry dead? Whew. Gotta think about that one. Is chivalry dead? Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go through a list of things that I've did my research on, didn't know, that will bring context to the topic. All right, and what I did know about chivalry was this. Chivalry was created in the 14th century by I'll say it was created in the 14th century for the knights. And they created these bylaws that the knights could live by, so to speak. And I'm not going to get into a list, all those different lists, because I did go down a rabbit hole of, you know, the 5 codes of ethics, the 10, you know, rules to live. Like, I ain't going all that. All I'm going through is just the whole creation of where the chivalry come from. And it's an old kind of way of living that's been around for centuries and centuries. And in this century, the 21st century, does it still exist? And with that being said, I feel as if it does. But it comes with some type of understanding of this. As a man, or when a man shows chivalry to a woman, is a woman receptive to it? Because a lot of women aren't, and let's just be honest with you. Like, I'm keeping it funky. I'm keeping it as all the way 100 as I know how. Most women won't even allow a man to be chivalrous. And I'll give you this example. True story, right? I done had a lot of time on my hand these last couple of weeks. And while I've been spending a lot of time in my establishment, Fellowship. If you haven't visited Fellowship, please do. The best cigar lounge in the world. Create the world. And while I'm doing there, one of the things that I love doing is interacting with people. I went to school for sociology, so I'm a very social person. Got my degree in it. I could tell you a lot of things about it, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. So this particular day, while I'm around just kind of asking people how they're doing, greeting them, you know, in Fellowship, you know, I approached a table full of women. And me having the courtesy to, ask them how they were doing, kind of court them and, kind of, start discussion and dialogue. What I didn't know, a woman, a older woman was there with her daughter. And as I was talking to the daughter, she began to blush or she began to laugh as I gave off the notion that she may have been blushing. As I kept talking to her, I came and checked in with him again. The mom kind of, hinted over and said, I can give you her number if you want it now. And I said to the mom, I'm like, well, just because I'm polite doesn't mean that I'm hitting on your daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, the South, the deep-rooted South. And those things was instilled in me at a young age. How to court a woman, how to treat a woman, and how to do right by a woman. So, I politely said, no, ma'am, I'm not trying to hit on your daughter by no means. She was attractive, but, I'm just, number one, doing my job. I want y'all to come back to fellowship, and I want to show you guys a good job, which is important. But also another thing was like, bro, where are we as in a society that if a man is polite to you, you think he's hitting on you? Which goes back to the overall question is, some people have to have chivalry downloaded to their system, or they're not compatible to receive chivalry. They don't know how to receive it as it being something that's awarded to them. And I got to be very smart in how I say these words, because just as a woman needs to learn how to receive chivalry, it also takes men to know how to give chivalry. And with me doing my research, I found out that being that chivalry was created in such a long time ago, it was created for men, by men, as bylaws to live by. I said that once. So women were not even in the discussion of how, to show chivalry in that type of manner. I'm gonna get to that point, but they were called dames, D-A-M-E, which was the equivalent to saying sir in that time. I know I'm probably messing a lot of people up with the intellect that I know with chivalry, but it's a deeper topic. And then when I was doing my research, I was like, dang, like this got some roots, some deep roots. But anywho, I feel like, and I say this, and I tread very lightly saying this. I had another situation where I was dating this young lady, and she almost demanded chivalry. And I'm keeping it funky. I'm being honest and transparent by giving you my life's situations and bringing it to the forefront. She demanded chivalry, like every time we go out, open up the door. But it's almost to say chivalry it's not no point system. It's not something where you keep tabs on it. It's a convenient based gesture. Okay, let me give you an example. If we pull up to a restaurant and I'm courting a date, and she waits for the man, or she waits for me in this particular example. She waits for me to open up the door. That's easy. I mean, that's convenient, right? Now, let me give you another example. If I'm with a female and I come to my house or wherever I'm staying and my hands are full, and you approach a door and you think a man's supposed to open up the door every single time I approach a door with a man, he's supposed to open it, that's not convenient. You know what I mean? And I don't want women to think like, well, my situation is what it is, and my expectation is what it is, and the standard is what the standard is. If you're going to court me once, you better court me all the time. If you're going to show chivalry, yeah, that's all well and good. But if I'm bringing groceries into my house and you standing at the door, empty-handed, almost to say, open up the door for me when I got my hands full, like, that's not convenient. So, which goes back to me, like, chivalry is all about convenience. And this is my opinion. And I will always remind the viewers this. This is my platform. And I'm just being honest and giving you the truths that are in my head. Whether they are right, wrong, or indifferent, it's still my truths. You can easily refer this to somebody else, which I will hope you would, or you could easily press the unfollow button, which I hope you do not. But it is what it is, right? So back to the topic. So it's like chivalry is not dead, but chivalry is contingent on the convenience of the man. Now, I'll say this. When talking about chivalry, most men who see another man doing a chivalrous act, does it come off as weakness? And that's a question. I wouldn't say so. But I will say some type of chivalrous acts can come off like, bro, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro. Okay. Example. We're coming back from dinner and we're approaching the car. That's easy. That's convenient. We're both outside and boom. Let me open up that door for you, baby. Boom, going to get in. How you like the dinner? The dessert was good, wasn't it? Boom, boom. You open up the door. She enters the car. You make sure her skirt, coat, pocketbook is in the car, and then you close it. That's convenient. Now, also with courting, something that's not realistic for me, just being honest, I'm not about to sit up here and park a car and run my ass around the damn car to open up the car door 100% of the time. No, there may be some silver lining example or situations that may persist. Like, it may be Valentine's Day. It may be some time where I feel like, you know what I mean, like, come on, bro, I'm trying to really go over and beyond on this one, you feel me? Or it may be because it's raining. Like, if it's raining and, you know, baby girl done got her hair done, black, white, Indian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Chinese, or whatever, don't no female like to get her hair wet. I don't even know no dudes that like to get their hair wet. But as chivalry, you know, if it's raining outside, you want to go out and open up the door for your significant other and just protect them or warrant them from the weather. Now that's cool. It's dry, sunny, clear night, and we pull up somewhere. I can't say 10 out of 10 times I'm about to, you know, run out and open up the door. That's just not realistic. That's not convenient at that particular point in time. So, I mean, as I'm proving the point of chivalry is not dead, it's just at the point of convenience, brings in another situation and another circumstance that comes into place when talking about the structure of the culture or the society. I can't really name no music that is pumping out on mainstream that would give the listener the added notion to be like, you know what, man, let me court my girl, like, let me open up the door. If anything, I'm trying to drain the well dry, get everything I possibly can from this particular individual. And it's just not one-way street now, because females got music out here that's all about get everything you can from a dude as much as you can, and then boom, it's over with. Buy me this purse, buy me this watch, buy me this food, buy me this and buy me this. Like, I mean, come on. Like, it is what it is. Now, back in the day, you know, they had music that was more catered to, you know, who's that lady? Who's that lady? Lucky lady. Like, you know. And I may have messed that up, but, you know, you get the gist. Come on, man. Stop judging me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it funky. You did? But, yeah, it's like, for as prominent and as powerful as music is in this day and time, I do think it morphs people's way of living. And I don't hear no music that's really pumping, courting, or showing chivalry to your significant other. That's just me. Now, there's artists that I do believe that do promote it, but it's more pop. You know what I'm saying? It's more urbanized, contemporary music. It ain't rap. Shit, it ain't that. But that ain't to say that rap music ain't good. And all rap music isn't demonizing your counterpart. From the man to the woman, the man to the man, the woman to the man, or the woman to the woman. They just ain't doing it. You see what I'm saying? So I can't play on one front where it's like, oh man, it ain't no music that's out there that's promoting, chivalry. But that's not to say that it's not no music that's out there that's talking about doing your lady right, because that is some good music and some good examples of that. Let me say this, and let me pose this question. And I'm speaking for the brothers on this front, because it's like chivalry is male dominated. That's just a fact. That's just what I've read. Wikipedia, Google search, and it said it was created for men to have, in essence, laws of the land, so to speak. Okay, cool. Now, with that being said, what do we get in return? Or is it unfair to think that I'm supposed to get something in return for chivalry? If I am on a date with a woman and I court her and I do, show chivalrous activities, right? Like, does it lead to something? Am I expecting to score? Come on now. The grown-ups caught that one. Or am I expecting, something in return? And this is a whole different topic. And it's just all about being in a relationship and being compatible on top of filling a void that somebody else is lacking at, right? But you know what I'm saying? What am I? I'm not married. You know what I'm saying? That's what somebody gonna say, well, you can't even talk about it. No, okay, cool. I'm off that. How about that? But I will say this. It's like the expectations for a woman. If you demand chivalry, if you demand a person to treat you a certain type of way, it has to be matched with something else. I'm not a believer of you expecting the man to open up your door, you expecting the man to pay for your bill, you expecting the man to give you a coat, you know what I'm saying, when it's cold outside, you expecting the man to give up his seat, you know what I'm saying, and then you an asshole, or, you don't even respect a man, you talk to a person, any type of way, you use your privilege as something other than what it's supposed to be intended to be used for. You know what I'm saying? And that leads me to this. I'm a father, right? I have daughters. And when that day comes where they change their name because of marriage, I will expect that man to treat them no lesser than how I treated them. Right? And it's funny, quick story, like my daughter, when I take my kids to school, my daughter always says, hold on, Comitis, hold on, Chosen, ladies first. Right? I mean, it's the cutest thing. But at the same time, that's chivalry in a on one hand, but also it's also chivalrous from a female standpoint, and I'm gonna label it like to respect the man's intention to show chivalry. I want to also be able to teach my daughters to allow a man to court you, right? And it's almost like a unspoken word. Like, I'm gonna teach him. You stand at that door for about 2 to 3 seconds. If you don't open that damn door, Kuda, Shakira, you open that damn door your damn self, right? Don't sit up here and try to make a point to a person to force them to do something that they may not even have in their wheelhouse to do, right? You got to allow a man who has the right intentions, or the intent, I won't say the right intentions, has the intentions to court you to do so, right? You know, maybe he may have left something, and maybe it just hasn't hit at that right time for you to, you know what I'm saying, do things. And, you know, some men have it in their wheelhouse, but they have to be taught. You know, they have to be allowed to do it. It has to be the right time, and it has to be convenient, right? I've been using that word a lot, and I hope you catch my drift. But I said all that to say, man, listen, like, you know, we living in a day and time where independent women are thriving at a high rate. Salute to you. My sisters, my powerful women all around the world that and ratchet people talk. I don't need a man for nothing. Well, that's cool. Hold on, simmer down, sister, because you do, you know. But at the same time, you know, there comes a point where you have to weigh out the realistic expectation. And there may be a person that says, well, if you're not gonna do it all the time, then don't do it at all. And I'm like, man, that's cool. But it always goes back to convenience. You know what I mean? Because just because a person doesn't do it, that doesn't mean that that person didn't intend to do it. And you have to allow that person to be able to do it. Opening up your door, paying the bill, you know, giving him your coat, allowing you to go first inside of a door. Now, what I'm not gonna go, and this is funny, but if we on a date and let's call it friend zone, we already had a conversation with that. Is the man supposed to pay for the bill if we friends? And you know he ain't even in the dugout of being lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't sit up here and expect a man to, you know, to court you if that doesn't, if y'all's relationship doesn't identify as such. Does that make sense? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm, you know what I'm saying, overanalyzing the situation. But, you know, needless to say, I think the main thing that I wanted to get across was this. Is politeness and showing chivalry has become so rare nowadays that people sometimes misconstrue that with flirting. And that's not the case. That's not. And you will make a fool of yourself if you think a person is trying to flirt with you when he's just trying to be polite. Some people were just raised right. Some people just was raised to, you know, have these type of manners, right? And it's not considered weakness. It's not considered, you know, an added, you know what I'm saying, boost. Because some of the main people who show chivalry, you know, they the biggest dogs. They the players. You know what I'm saying? That I know. You dig what I'm saying? But that's not to say, you know, good guys aren't able to, you know what I'm saying, do so. A married man can open up a door for another married woman that he's not married to. That's just chivalry. That's just being polite. That's just saying, oh, you know, can I, you know, do you need to sit down? You know, it happens all the time. So let's open our eyes to that fact. And with this point, please leave a comment. Please leave something that makes me feel like I'm relating to somebody. You know what I mean? Because doing research on this particular topic, it did open my eyes to a lot of things. Which brings me to this. I believe a woman can show chivalry. She can show chivalry by emotional support. And being a male in this day and time, mental health is so so dominant in people's lives, let alone, you know, man, woman. You know, it's paramount in everybody's lives that if you got a person, a woman, whether y'all are intimate, whether y'all are family members, whether y'all are just friends, to be able to say, you know what, man, how you doing? A listening ear. And some women bring it out in ways that a man could never do, or vice versa. A man could bring out a side of a woman that a woman couldn't do for another woman. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways that women can be polite. There are ways that, you know, women can create or show value in a chivalrous manner that wasn't, in essence, created in the 14th century that they have to abide by. And I think, you know, being there for an emotional support is one of those things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. It's a beautiful day on this Friday. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you like the topic. I hope you leave a comment. I hope you share this. I hope you press that heart. I hope you subscribe. Because I fools with you. And I'ma always keep it funky. And as I always close things out, simple, one finger. It's simple, one pinky. It's simple, one thumb. It's simple, one love. You dig?